Good morning. So, this is where I tell you how I almost accidentally killed my little dude. Yep. You heard me right. He almost died last night. He's playing now. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Sassy Homesteader here. Last night, I was thinking about this video and it was going to be titled one of two ways. And it came out in the more positive way. How I almost killed my little baby boy, my little Saint Mardi Gras. So I'm gonna preface this. Any mean statements or shoddy comments, anything negative, you cannot not let me explain this. For those of you in the back, you could not make me feel any worse than I already have. So you might as well just keep on scrolling because this isn't the freaking page for you. Move on. Move it on. Move it on. I am not tolerating it. I will delete it. I will ban you. Whatever I can do. This video is not for you. This is for the video, or this video is for the people that are trying their very hardest and listening to all sources and trying to figure out what is best for them, for their one homestead, and to their animals, their life, everything. I have thought about this. I have bawled my eyes out. I cried all night long, even though he was possibly okay. So let me tell you the story. I'm going to show you this right now. These are just some of the bloody mess that happened last night. I threw away, I'm sorry. I'm still a little scattered and a little discombobulated, so please bear with me. I had to throw some of the clothes in the wash because I couldn't stand to see it, to save it for this video. So I saved that little bit that was on my jacket of Mr. Marty's blood. So, as you know, I watch the YouTube, the Yibbity Boob as I call it, and I watch a lot of different platforms. And I talk to some of our local people and some of our local farmers, some old school, some new school, and I kind of, like I always tell you, do what's best for you and your farm or your homestead, whatever is best for you. So I thought I was doing what was best for me. I talked to some farmers about taking off horns. Yes, you can burn them, and oh, it's excruciating, and oh, you hear them cry, but you hear them cry, and then it's done. And then, I watched some amazing goat people, especially with the Nigis, and I checked around, thought I was doing my due diligence about how to have them cauterized off, because I don't want horns anymore on the property. My boys that do have horns, obviously, they're going to have horns for the rest of their days, but I didn't want horns. So, and I wanted to keep Marty. I love his coloring. I love his attitude. He's just adorable. And yeah, here's my first boy. So, mamas and their boys. Anyway, I also heard you can nip them. So you take your hooving shears, make sure they're sanitary, nip them nip them, and if they bleed a little bit, then you put your stop bleed on there. Okay, well, I had called around and everybody wanted $200 to $150 to do the cauterizing. All the places that I have called, that is freaking ridiculous. Um, and I don't want to sound weird, but if you pull your goats and then sell them, you're losing more than half your profit. You're basically giving away your goat. And that does not make financial sense when you are like me, that I don't have show goats. I don't care to have show goats. I think it's really cool, and all of I think that's so super bougie, and yay you, because that is some Stella stuff. But I just have simple farm goats, right? So I chose the nipping. Did exactly what they told me to do. And all of a sudden, yesterday, Marty started bleeding. Try not to do this. Marty started bleeding. Yes, I'm talking about your boy, Lola. Anyway, and he wouldn't stop. I put stop bleed on him, and I put more and more, to the point where it was up both of our noses, and I was applying pressure, and it was just pouring out. It wouldn't stop. So as I'm holding him, crying and praying to God that I didn't just kill my goat, I went running to the house, getting an extra set of hands, trying to get the phone out of my pocket to call another goat friend that is local, while blood is pouring all over. Like, this is all over. It wouldn't stop. No matter how much stop bleed, how much pressure, nothing was stopping this. And I call her my friend now, because she is definitely on my prayer list, says, why didn't you cauterize him? I've never heard of nipping. And she goes, let me call my gal. She does it for $10 a head. And Ryan and I both went, what? Huh? And she goes, let me guess. You went to a professional. And I said, yeah, I did. I went to a quote unquote professional vet that does equestrian and small animals. Hi, Mama. And she said they're robbing us, the small farmers, and it doesn't cost that much. So I quickly called this lady, and bless her heart, she was on her way somewhere, and here I am crying in a panic. I don't even know. I really honestly can't tell you if I made sense. But all I could say is he wouldn't stop bleeding. And her house is like 20 minutes up the road from me. I made it there in 10. That included loading all of the babies, finding the travel crate, and I made it there in 10. So God bless you other drivers, and I'm sorry for acting foolish. But I made it, and he was a bloody mess. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, and she was very calm. Her name is Rebecca. And she was very calm, and she didn't mince words like, oh, he's going to be perfectly fine. She's like, I don't know how much blood he's lost. There's blood all over this table right here. There is blood all over this floor, all over here. You saw my jacket. You didn't see my shirt, obviously, because I went through the wash. There's blood all over in his hay because one said, just leave him alone. And I knew in my gut I couldn't just leave him alone. And I could see him getting weak. Very weak. And I felt terrible because I promised God to be a good steward to these babies and do my very, very best. And it sucked. It sucked. It freaking sucked. He screamed and he cried. But Miss Rebecca took him and cauterized him and did the very best she could. Obviously, we're going to watch out for infection and what have you. I'm going to give him some extra boosted vitamins. He was a little slow this morning, but he was playing now. This is mid-morning. So he is up and playing, which is wonderful. And he gave me kisses this morning, so I think we're okay. God, I'm sorry. I know people, this is just goats. Boy, they pull your heartstrings. Ugh. If you have a heart. Anyway, I am not good at being a big fat baby, but apparently having little baby Nigerian goats opens up a whole new can of worms, so to speak. All the feels come out. So I will always recommend having Nigerian goats and having the babies and learning process. I have a lot more of what not to do coming up. He almost bled to death. So I'm gonna advise, maybe ask you all to think about when you are helping your fellow homesteader, farmer, don't try to gouge them. Don't try to gouge them on plants, feed. You work out trade, you work out something. I mean, like, do you really need $200 for less than 5 minutes of work? Do you? Why? Why would you do that to your fellow farmer? Why would a vet do that to anybody? I don't understand. When this gal took my little boy, missed the opening of her appointment, and had a heart and compassion for a girl freaking out. And mind you, I had to tell her, I'm sorry, I'm usually not like this. Like I usually have my shit together, and I had probably mascara and snot and blood all over my face. I don't even know what I looked like. I couldn't even tell you. So I had to look like a crime scene, a wreck, or whatever. But this woman was incredibly kind. Miss Sarah was incredibly kind. They're out there. Our tribe is out there. Our people are out there. Help one another. Don't try to gouge. Explain the things. Now, if you ask me, would I recommend this? No, I would not recommend the nipping. Now, maybe somebody else will, and they have a better way to do it. Maybe they nipped and cauterized. I don't know. But I'm not going to recommend that anybody nip. Their horns, and I don't understand why people don't understand this. And maybe it's because, deer and elk, they shed their antlers, right? Well, the goats don't. They are very vascular. Very vascular. Even the little teeny tip that I took off, little teeny, half of a pea, half, bled profusely. I used half a bottle of Stop Bleed. It didn't stop. I would not recommend it. I can't. Um, for me. Now, maybe if you're better at it or you have more experience or something else magical, then kudos to you. Um, but as for me in my house, my home, we ain't doing this. We're going to use Miss Rebecca. She knows that we're going to go to her for our next kidding. And we'll take all the babies there. And apparently, all in this valley, she has done decades worth of farm help and dehorning or budding or whatever you want to call it. A lot of people call it a whole bunch of different things. Anyway, she was sure a blessing to have help and just be there. So anyway, that was my bad. My girls are now debutted, and my boy is debutted. One side is going to look wonky. I mean, that's just kind of what we came up with. And I'm okay with that because he didn't die. But I will always remember that day. Yesterday. Last night. Just before dark. This woman is damn near cauterizing their buds almost in the dark. Bless her heart. God, I can't thank those two enough. And my friend Shannon from Ohana Farms, because she is the one that led me to Sara, who led me to Rebecca. So it's always a chain of events. You never know why God puts a certain person in your life. What it's going to transpire into, what the ripple effect is. So always count your blessings. Always. You never know. So I'm gonna take my ball baby ass and straighten myself up. My mama used to say, that crying's gonna give you a headache and it's gonna mess up your makeup. Now go fix your makeup and put your lipstick on. Let's get going. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So may love, peace, and blessings fill your heart, fill your soul, fill your everything, and share it with everybody. Don't leave anyone behind. Don't try to gouge your fellow neighbor. 2 commandments. Love thy God with all your heart and all your soul. And love thy neighbor as yourself. And everything is golden. Learn your trade, learn your barter. Take care of each other. Like, share, comment. Ding dong. God, I always forget that.